Good afternoon, my beauties. Well, first off, Happy New Year. And second off, I know it's been a couple weeks. I know that's been happening a lot more recently, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Really quickly, I'm sure a lot of you guys are expecting a Disney Parks New Year's vlog. Well, this time that's not happening because this time we actually spent New Year's with some friends and it was actually a lot of fun. I really did enjoy it. But I thought today we would just take a nice little stroll throughout the neighborhood and just talk about what y'all can expect, not just from me, not just from Allie, but from us as a couple this year. Now, the first question that I'm sure is on everyone's mind is, how are Allie and I doing? Well, I'm gonna give you guys two simple answers to that. Couple-wise, we're doing great. We're doing fantastic. I just have to say, I couldn't be happier right now. Yes, there are some bumps. Yes, there are some hiccups, from outside sources that unfortunately we can't really talk about until due time. But even then, that's not really stopping us. And I can safely say there has been nothing but love in the air since we started dating. And it's because of that continuous love that we're gonna be around for a long time. Now, in terms of our personal lives, however, we are in quite some rough seas, mostly for good, but there are some bad. And I'm sure with the little lack of uploads recently, you guys could probably tell that, we're very busy. Obviously, we're both Disney cast members. We're obviously working a lot. Of course, it's still the holidays. Lots of things are happening. Now, to get what I would say is the biggest news out of the way so far, let's start with where we're at right now. So the apartment that we're in currently, that you guys have seen over the past almost year now, well, we've been living in said apartment for almost a whole year now, and we still have 5 more months basically from this point on until our lease is done. And that's going to bring us to probably the greatest thing, probably the craziest thing that we are doing this year, and that is we're moving. Now, I'm sure most of you guys are thinking, well, Aiden, where are you moving to? Are you staying in Orlando? Are you staying in Florida? What's going on? We're actually moving out, not just of Orlando, not just out of Central Florida, but the state of Florida in general. Now, don't get me wrong, as much as I love Orlando, Florida, I've grown up visiting this city for a long time, but another state has been calling not just my name, but Allie's name over the past few months. Now, if you know me personally, if you guys know what I do outside of the vlogs, you most likely know where we are going. At the moment, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, of course, because there's still those bumps that we're trying to cross over that are unfortunately preventing us from really talking about it. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to talk about it, because trust me, we will. It'll happen in due time. It's coming up in May, mid-May, literally 5 more months until this move. So trust me when I say just be patient, the news will come. But it is basically because of this move that we have been completely busy, all hands on deck, trying to essentially save as much money as we can for this move, because this state that we are moving to is also very expensive, much like the state of Florida, much like Central Florida to be specific. And it's because of that I have been severely lacking on content recently. And for that, I do apologize, but at the same time, I really want you guys to understand that this is not only going to be the biggest thing for the channel, but it is also going to be the biggest thing for not just my life, but Allie's life as well. Not just our personal lives, but our partnership. Now, this is basically going to lead into the question of, where does all of this leave the channel? Because again, I know I've been severely lacking over the past maybe 1-2 months now. Basically, when we decided that we were going to take on this move as head on, as intensely as we possibly could, well, I am going to tell you guys, channel's not going anywhere. Just please bear with us when we say that content is not going to be as frequent as it even should be at this point. And I know that's going to turn a lot of people off. I completely understand, and I do apologize about that. However, this is one of those things that I am so heavily prioritizing because, one, it's going to work regardless, but I want to be able to make it work to such a full extent. And I will be completely honest, I know I said it earlier, but this is literally the craziest thing that I personally have ever done in my life. I know moving to Orlando, Florida was one of the craziest things I've ever done, but trust me when I say basically amplify this move to Florida by like 10 times. That's how crazy it's gonna be. But like I said, no need to worry. Channel's not going anywhere. Content's not going anywhere. Just understand that it is going to be a little more scarce than it probably should be. But now to answer another question of, well, do you guys have any other plans for this year? The answer is yes. We have a lot, actually. Most of them coming up in May. In fact, if you guys remember back in 2023, I went to a little music festival in Columbus, Ohio called Sonic Temple. Well, we're going back. And I say we because Allie is joining me. Of course, she's not here, but yeah, she is joining me. This will be her very first music festival, and oh man, am I over the moon for her. She is going to absolutely love it. And this time, y'all are coming along with me. And trust me when I say this year's Sonic Temple is going to be probably the craziest, not just Sonic Temple, but craziest music festival in the history of music. So if any of you guys happen to be going to Sonic Temple or even thinking about it, please, please, please do so. And please, please, please let me know if you're going. And then I would say another super, super exciting thing that is happening this year is the grand opening of Universal Epic Universe. And I'm very proud to say that I will be there on opening day. Now, I will say though, getting a ticket for opening day was not easy by any means. And this is where I'm going to say I thankfully lucked out. Unfortunately, Allie could not. And why that is, I don't really know. I feel terrible. Trust me, I feel absolutely terrible. I don't even know how I scraped by with an opening day ticket, but even then, we're gonna try and make the most out of it. The only issue is that we're moving out of Florida mid-May and have to come back to Orlando a week later for opening day of Epic. And keep in mind, there's also a few little things within that month of May that we're also doing that I'm not really gonna talk about. So just know, yeah, this coming May is going to be completely stacked. But I guess in terms of, right now, we're doing okay. As a couple, we're doing great. There's so much love in the air when it comes to us. But, just in terms of life, we're doing okay. And that's okay. Everyone has their rough times. Everyone has their good times, their bad times. And we are no exception with that. But I can definitely tell you guys that 2025 is going to be the year. So I think this is going to be the part where I leave you guys here because I basically covered everything that I needed to cover at the moment. Just know that, again, channel's not going anywhere. Still going to be vlogs. They're just not going to be coming as often. So I guess until next time, just take care of yourselves, love one another, trust the process, and we'll see y'all next time.